Theaters were a big part of my life just as a patron, just going and seeing concerts and plays and independent films and things that you can't get otherwise. When I first walked in, it was an interesting moment because I was actually considering moving, and so I wasn't sure that there was anything for me in Corpus Christi, and so it was a major revelation for me to come into this building and see this beautiful atmosphere. I've likened it to how they must have felt when they first discovered the Titanic under the water, because I could really imagine the crowds. I could hear them. I could see these, plush velvet seats, and so it was so inspiring. It made me want to stay in Corpus, and it made me want to work really hard, because it was like God had said, here, this is your reason for staying here, because this is amazing and you need to help bring it back to life. We are working towards completing a full-scale restoration on this historic theater that was built in 1929. We're not just trying to get it open and functional. We want to take it back to what it looked like in 1929 and bring back all those fabulous elements and ornate details. This theater is unique because it's an atmospheric theater, so it's built to look like you're in a Spanish courtyard with a blue sky above your head with floating clouds and twinkling stars. Not many buildings like that exist anymore. There are very few historic atmospheric theaters that exist. So for Corpus Christi to have one is amazing, and we really need to capitalize on that and show the world, look what Corpus Christi has, and look what we're willing to do to keep it, and look what we're willing to do to make our city great. And what we've had forever, we're just, shining it up. The main thing we need is money. The restoration is a pretty costly endeavor. The theater is deteriorating the longer it takes for us to restore it. And so, our immediate goals are fixing the roof and the plumbing and starting to work on the electrical, just so that the theater can start to be rebuilt and not deteriorate. And so that's really what we're focusing on right now, is just keeping it from falling apart while we're raising the money. My main dream for the theater being restored is to have a reenactment of some of these old pictures that you see, with hundreds of people flocking the streets to come to the theater, or to be a part of something else that's going downtown, where people feel safe to be downtown again, where it's a given that downtown can provide the entertainment options that people are seeking, and that it's a very cohesive district, and that all of these different venues are working together to provide the best entertainment and the best community that we can for Corpus Christi and for tourists coming into town.
Over my head, you're trying to save me. Stop holding your breath, but you think I'm crazy.
The Ritz sits kind of right in the middle between the C District and then all the other bars and restaurants and hotels downtown. So we see it as a major connector. The more things that we can put in between these gaps and fill it all in, so it's a whole corridor of things to do, is going to be helpful for everyone. I see people, especially on Facebook and Twitter and all these social networks, talking about how they're sick of Corpus and they can't wait to get out of town, or they're fed up with how homeless people are approaching them downtown, and for me, the only way that's going to change is if everybody takes a moment to invest a little bit of time in the projects that are happening downtown. That's what it's going to take, is people saying, yes, I'm committed to helping you. I see the power that the Ritz could have for Corpus Christi and for bringing talent here, for bringing wonderful entertainment here. And so I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up to that meeting. I'm going to show up to that event. I'm going to show up. I'm going to make those calls for you. That's the hardest thing, is actually getting people to take the action and stop just talking about it. We've been talking about it for years. And so to show up and, do the work, because without the work, it's never going to happen. And it makes such a difference to be able to come into the theater and look at it, because it doesn't look like anything from the outside. People drive by it every day and have no idea what it is or the potential that is in these walls. It's just shown us, by getting more people in here, how many people the Ritz has actually touched in the past and the history that exists with this building. And it's huge and it's amazing and it's enriching. It fulfills me to hear these stories, and it gives me even more purpose for restoring the theater because of what it means to the community and the history that's here.